School districts prepare for statewide cell phone ban. State Comptroller DiNapoli gets a challenger in next year's race. NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch praises recruitment. And voices from East Harlem. From WNYC, this is NYC Now. I'm Janae Pierre. Nearly all New York schools are getting ready to prohibit cell phones this year. A new state law requires students to be separated from their cell phones from, quote, bell to bell. Governor Kathy Hochul says all but a handful of school districts have adopted the policies. She says students should start preparing now.
I'm telling parents, get ready for this. You should be weaning your young people, whether especially the young children, but also learning our teenagers, that it's going to be a hard transition.
A state website says fewer than 30 districts and charter schools have not filed required plans with the state. Some districts are directing kids to just keep their phones in their lockers. Other schools are using magnetic pouches. Classes start after Labor Day in most districts. The election for New York State Comptroller isn't until next year, but one challenger is already making his case. WNYC's Jimmy Vilkind has more on the race, which so far includes longtime State Comptroller Tom DiNapoli and Drew Warshaw.
The State Comptroller oversees a pension fund with more than $280 billion. Drew Warshaw says he would use more of it to build affordable housing. It's just one of the reasons the former government aide is running for the position.
To have the opportunity and the power to attack the affordability crisis head-on is a dream job.
Tom DiNapoli says it's more important to provide steady returns than to invest too much in housing.
I've more than proven that I'm capable of helping the state navigate through challenging times.
The primary election is in June.
6 months ago, NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch said the department was desperate for applicants. Last week, she swore in the largest class since 2016. More on NYPD recruitment after the break. NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch is singing a different tune about police recruitment. Just 6 months ago, she said the department was in a, quote, hiring crisis. Here's Tisch at a breakfast for the Association for a Better New York.
It wasn't that long ago when people would wait years to get the call to join the academy, and every incoming class was full to capacity. Now we are practically begging people to take the exam.
Fast forward, now the police commissioner says the NYPD will have the most recruits since 1984. Here she is at a police academy ceremony last week.
It is proof that people want to be cops again. It shows that this profession, which for me is the noblest job anyone could choose, is back in a big way.
My colleague Charles Lane says there are 3 things that explain the commissioner's transition. The first is that the department lowered their standards. The second thing is, according to Tisch, there was a change in rhetoric around policing. And the third thing is the reality. Things may not have changed that much. The NYPD could still be in a hiring crisis. Charles breaks it all down.
To be fair, the lowering of the standards was probably the biggest part of several other changes. They also waived the fees to take the police test. They started offering more tests every month, in fact. They also reduced the minimum age to become a recruit from 25 years old to 20 and a half years old.
But Charles says the main change was lowering the college requirements. Previously, it was 60 college credits. Now it's 24, going from roughly 4 semesters down to only 2.
How impactful this is, it's sort of a mixed bag. A number of experts will tell you that the professionalization of policing, which coincided with the big crime drops that we saw, all this happened because more police started going to college. Other police experts, they point to research that show a correlation between job satisfaction and college degrees.
The NYPD's boost in recruitment could also be thanks to what the commissioner calls a change in rhetoric around policing. But she didn't point to anything specific in the last 6 months. Charles says it's kind of hard to quantify anti-police rhetoric, but there still is a larger issue of morale.
Experts and police unions say that the job is thankless, both in terms of shifts and the hours that they actually have to work. There's also this cyclical routine of actually not solving problems and sort of being a jack of all trades that is called in for everything that they don't really have a lot of control over, things like homelessness or drug addiction or mental health.
But what if this is all made up and the NYPD's hiring crisis isn't actually over? Charles says though Tisch has alluded to things getting better, she isn't actually declaring a victory.
But if you look at the numbers, we're kind of just treading water. According to numbers provided by the police unions, we're set to lose as many officers this year as new recruits are coming in.
That's WNYC's Charles Lane. Every now and then, we team up with the nonprofit Street Lab to highlight stories from neighborhoods across New York City. Here's some of what we heard at our recent visit to East Harlem, near East 115th Street.
My name is Talia Smith. I'm 40 years old. I am in East Harlem, New York. And I am a community service learning facilitator for Another Choice Youth and Family Outreach. We're out here every Friday. Right now we have the Summer Youth program that's working with us. And this week is event 3, which is focused on finance, intellectual and occupational wellness, and anything else that they might need. We have fresh produce that we hand out. Also, we do the pantries and everything with our summer youth. I have 20 years in healthcare experience, so just using that to focus more on my community. This is my passion. I love working with the community, but more so, our youth is basically our future. So we have to have them stay together.
My name is Reverend Khalil G. James. I've been doing ministry work for over 20 years. The church should be a platform for individuals who are looking to fly, to dream. So our church is a hub for artistic expression, community engagement, and social change. We allow people to be who they are. And we try to help them by validating what's in our young people and in our community. So many stories that we have. People who are looking for a community, looking for love. And we think one of the antidotes to shame and stigma is love and belonging. Me, myself, I have a story. I was just as lost as some of these young people in the streets. And that's why I do what I do. What was done for me, I do for others. So we create that safe space. We have homeless youth that stop by the church weekly just to charge their phone, to get some water, use the bathroom, sit in the air conditioner, or the heat in the winter. We don't have all the answers, but we do know proximity is key. And we sit with people and we're present, just being human.
My name is Isaac Scott. I am proudly from Harlem, born and raised, and I am 43 years old. I want other community members to know that we have the power as people to solve a lot of our problems. We don't have infinite resources, but we can strategically partner. We can share resources. We can share tasks to get things done. So I really want to see community come together more and solve our own issues, because we literally are all we got. You know what I mean? Like, just looking at our federal government, we know that no one is going to come save us. So we are all we got, and I really want to see us do better.
That was Talia Smith, Reverend Khalil G. James, and Isaac Scott of Harlem. Thanks for listening to NYC Now from WNYC. I'm Janae Pierre. We'll be back tomorrow.